Most stories of the sea are about treasure, exploration, or glory. This is not one of those stories. This is a story about revenge. It's about a man who had everything: a nation's pride, an invincible fleet, absolute command of the ocean, and lost it all in a single, horrifying moment. But he did not die. He was cursed to haunt the waves forever, driven by a singular burning purpose: to hunt the monster that dragged his world into the abyss. Before the tragedy that would define his existence, Admiral Kunka was more than a man. He was the revered leader of the Cladish navy, the greatest navigator and strategist of his time. He commanded a vast and formidable fleet, the pride of his island nation. His authority over the seven seas was absolute. It was said that Kunka knew the ocean's moods as if they were his own, predicting the shift of tides and the coming of storms with uncanny accuracy. His capabilities on the battlefield were the stuff of legend. His cutlass, Tidebringer, did not just cut. It crashed with the force of a watery torrent, cleaving hulls in two. From the depths themselves, he could summon explosive geysers to launch his foes skyward. He could mark an enemy with an X of rushing water, a mystical anchor that would, moments later, drag them back to their doom. His ultimate power. Kunka could summon the impossible, a ghostly galleon, a phantom of his former fleet, crashing through the battlefield, its spectral cannons firing, its presence bolstering allies with the legendary rum of the Cladish navy. He was the symbol of humanity's command over the treacherous ocean. But there are forces that dwell far beneath the sunlit waves. In the sunken cities of the Maranthic diaspora, one such being is known as Leviathan, the Tidehunter. Unlike the political Maranth, Tidehunter has no patience for trivial squabbles. He is a creature of singular, fanatical devotion to his abyssal god, Maelron the Tentacular, a being of immense and ancient power, lurking in the darkest trenches of the ocean. To Tidehunter, the surface dwellers were nothing more than trespassers, humans, elves, their petty ships scraping across the skin of his god's sacred domain. Armed with a massive anchor ripped from a forgotten shipwreck, he patrols the shallows, a solitary enforcer of Maelron's will. His thick, scaly hide could shrug off the most punishing blows, each impact a dull thud against his immense form. His very presence was a crushing weight upon his enemies. But his most terrifying ability was a gift from his abyssal god, the power to unleash a devastating wave of writhing tentacles from the seabed, a ravage of flesh and spine, impaling and destroying any who dared stand in his path. The stage for their legendary confrontation was set at the Trembling Isle. Here Admiral Kunka and the Cladish fleet were locked in a fierce battle against the demons of the cataract, and the Admiral was winning. His brilliant tactics were pushing the shrieking demons back into the abyss. Victory was within his grasp. But deep beneath the waves, the battle was a profane thunder. The cannon fire, the splintering hulls, the screams of the dying, all of it desecrated the silent, holy domain of the abyssal god. To his champion, Leviathan, the distinction between demon and man was meaningless. Both were surface dwellers. Their noisy, violent struggle was the ultimate act of sacrilege. Enraged, Tidehunter began his own dark ritual on the ocean floor, calling upon his god to scour the sea clean. The Cladish sailors were moments from celebrating their victory. Then they could only watch in horror. The sea boiled, and from the churning waves, colossal tentacles burst forth, each one larger than their mightiest galleon. The Kraken, an avatar of Milron's wrath, made no distinction between demon and man. To an angry god, all were invaders. It took only moments. The shriek of twisting metal, the snap of splintering masts, the entire Cladish fleet was annihilated. Kunka, aboard his flagship, fought with all his might, but against the raw power of the abyss, mortal courage was meaningless. He watched as his men, his ships, and his life's work were dragged into the churning vortex, their cries swallowed by the sea. In the aftermath, only silence remained. Admiral Kunka, the national hero, was declared lost at sea, but the admiral did not truly die. He returned, a spectral figure, forever bound to the salt and spray of his greatest defeat. Today, he commands a single ghost ship, perpetually replaying its final tragic voyage, forever haunted by a singular purpose: to hunt the Leviathan who brought the abyss to his doorstep and finally claim his revenge. Their fated battle at the Trembling Isle was not an end. It was the beginning of an eternal rivalry that rages on to this very day. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a like and share it with someone who might enjoy it too. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.